dick.
Alright, so I get to introduce everybody. We are going to start our discussion on some of the recent developments in Dragon Ball. And for those of you who don't know, I have other people here today. They're going to appear as black amorphous shapes in the background, so don't think too hard about it. And the amorphous shapes sometimes... and they sometimes need to be beaten into submission. Dang it. I hate these guys.
These are not the droids you are looking for.
So it's me, Mario, James, Chris, and Jordan, all here.
No,
you guys
he's
probably
Stacy.
Jordan, Stacy, Jordan. One of these people is here.
One of them are not right here.
I think it's Jordan.
It's probably Stacy.
So we were gonna go ahead and just talk a little bit about some stuff that's going on.
Also, this match is scheduled for one fall.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so as everybody knows, we were stuck waiting like 5 to 6 extra months waiting for Panini to make some choice decisions. They kept taunting, wow, that's not a good word, touting that they were going to give us a final and eternally balanced version of it. And hold on, I have people over here who are...
Open that door.
What? Hold on, who's back there? Who is it? Hey, God!
That's Freddie Prinze Jr., as you all may know.
Terrible.
He's lost quite a bit of hair.
But anyway, so Panini had been touting for a long time that there would be a final CRD update, and it would supposedly leave the game balanced, which we kind of were apprehensive about because we said Awakening was the worst set to leave off on. So many broken characters, bad ideas, stuff that really genuinely needed to be balanced by another set.
Essentially, they prominent dumpstered us, right?
Well, I wouldn't use that, but it's still correct language.
Well, they were rushed. It was very rushed. It felt very rushed.
It's because Bandai's bringing out a shitty game that nobody wants to
Oh yeah,
play.
guess what? It comes out this month.
Yeah, nobody's gonna fucking play it. They're gonna come out and everybody's gonna be like, oh, let's play. Nobody's gonna play it. How many did you sell? We sold 3, and that was out of pity. That was all Tom from downstairs.
I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of talk
I
being
think
like,
he was putting it being a little too nice.
But what about the fact that we do have a Tom who was in the basement probably right now, and you would say Tom would buy the game?
Is he a Tom?
Damn it,
I don't know. But yeah, so that was a bunch of bonkers stuff. And then I hate to say it, guys, it'll end up being a fixture of a later part of the discussion, but we ended up waiting so long for a final CRD that we eventually ended up thinking there wasn't going to be a final CRD. Like almost 6 months later, and no sign of a CRD, no words from Panini, other than really passing mentions in various weekly posts. So we were in a bad way. This was going to end up bad. So we were like, oh, fantastic. We're now at the mercy of the Fan Z people. Not bad people. It's interesting that they get to keep the game going. We'll love it. Still fantastic. However, we would have liked that final CRD to be able to have some certain things set in stone. So you can imagine our shock when finally a CRD showed up. The game had how many different broken concepts up to this point? Unleashed became a Bane. Goku was running roughshod. He was Goldberging all of us. All of us were mid-carders.
I don't know. It didn't bother me too much.
Oh, it bothered me on a deep emotional level.
And then before that was Broly.
So what we're saying is,
Probably wasn't that bad.
oh, Broly was awful. Wait a minute. You know what I realized?
Wait. Master Roshi was worse. We gotta just throw that out there.
He was more annoying. I wouldn't say he's worse. He was far more annoying. At least Broly was doing
That's what I
something.
meant by annoying.
It's off the
I
charts.
don't know. Metroid started this. Take a ball.
So the big idea here is simply that the game was left in an awful state. Set 7 was a terrible set to leave off of, and we've really been having to deal with a lot of less than great situations because of it. So FanZ came out and helped to start balancing the game. That's all great and everything, but to be honest, we still needed that last little push from Panini. But we've always gotten the impression, at least lightly, that Panini genuinely didn't care. That they were looking at Meta X and Fooey on Dragon Ball, it's not making them money, why do they care? And it turns out absolutely all of us were dead wrong. It comes out of nowhere, it's elegant, it is efficient, it addressed all of our concerns. So anybody who's watched our channel for a bit probably remembers what deck are the audience is literally sick of watching?
Goku, Broly.
Word Retribution? comes up often. They're like, I'm tired of all the orange retribution.
I don't know. I keep on getting people wanting mine.
How dare you? So we.
Well, I mean, I don't play Goku or Vegeta, so I mean, it's different.
So the day before the CRD dropped from Panini, we had a Fan Z CRD update that, to be honest, looked to be full on ape scat. It was nuts. They were addressing things that weren't a problem and just stomping them out. Like when Goku broke the game and they wanted to ban Blue Terror. Why? Like, Blue Terror is a 1 per search on any card, non-Dragon Ball card. That's
Just
it.
because of Goku.
And there's our problem.
Well, here's the thing. They could have gone about it a different way. They could have made it you can only use this effect once per game.
Yep, they're fine.
Non-comedy relief.
Well, we're getting to that. We're getting to the fact that so Fan Z had an interesting focus. They wanted to go card by card and thinking that the cards themselves bear the problem when they actually lie elsewhere.
Well, I mean, a little bit of it all did. I don't exactly think they did enough for some of their stuff, and for other stuff they didn't do enough. Like, they did too much for some things, did not enough for other things.
Well, in particular, we just noticed a lot of drills have memory, all kinds of other different things.
I almost don't know how I feel about that. Like, after playing that last game just now, I almost think it's a good choice, but I think like a better choice would have been, like you said, just redo Bicycle Kick completely.
Well, I just steamrolled Pycon with Slug.
Yeah, we know that.
That's some nice work.
And what we also gotta know that Icon had just come out, but not as part of Panini, it's part of the...
Oh yeah, he's a Fan Z only.
Yeah.
Oh yes. But as far as...
And I'm not trying to make up excuses, but we don't really know what to put him in yet, what he would do good as.
Yeah, we're still at an early stage. Yeah, we've been trying to make PyCon, work. It's just, we figured this out. You have an A tier deck, like an A level 1, like highest tier, put PyCon in it, and it instantly lowers it. We don't know why. It becomes a B or B+, and that's it.
Wheelo!
Oh, he's got Wheelo problems.
I think you should do
Didn't you opt out of building orange decks for other people? Did you?
Yeah. Because Phoenix is the nation became a staple of
A little bit.
a little bit.
So you guys probably noticed that, simply put, Orange Retribution was a little too powerful. It simply addressed every single concern you could ever have had over all the other Orange Masteries. It helps you get out of stage lock. It generates anger. It searches drills. It protects your drills upon leveling. It's like it chops. It slices. It dices. It does everything. The only thing it didn't do is shake you a little bit when you're done.
As I said, adapt was balanced. And I was like, it sucks. No, it's balanced.
Yep. So we've said that was like you told us it looked rushed. Awakening looked rushed. I agree. This was not a fully tested out card. It's effective and easily exploited.
Well, the Saiyan one is just the shitty version of the second one.
You mean dynamic mastery?
Yeah, it's just go to level 2 and then you get instantly lowered by ending the Namekian deck.
Yeah, and then
You
also
do.
you need the 6th anger level just to level through a level that's...
For the
kinda hard
first
to do
mastery
at
and the
times.
second mastery is
I don't know. It's
better.
It's one of those, like, I feel like too, it has its strengths for certain MPs, but the problem is those MPs don't exist. Like, they didn't exist then. Like, they may have made something that would work with it better.
Oh.
I mean, for like the level 2 Gohan, I like the newer
Future
Gohan? No, Cell Gohan. Yeah, Awakening Gohan. It kind of goes with that because you start off on the level that you can start ditching stuff, but if you get leveled down, you're not too worried about it because you still can do stuff.
yeah, but either way, I'd still rather have the second one with 4 anger to level
Yeah.
with no
But
downside.
it's a hit. It's on the hit effect. That's the downside. It
Yeah,
has
the
to-
only downside is it's a hit effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, if you get 4 angers there, you just do cards, you still level.
Like usually if you wanted a good Saiyan deck, you would go rely on like rampaging.
made flying kick an actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did talk about that. We said that, in the right circumstances, yeah, rampaging could be very effective. But it's like it doesn't work most of the time. I can't.
Or you forget because you're just so used to just like either getting it right away or not. You forget about the non-hit effect. It's
Yeah,
just not-
basically the rest of the cards basically do what rampaging usually would normally do.
And that is frustrating. Finding out, they're just subpar. To me, I think it's like, okay, guys, I know that Saiyan Empowered Mastery was very powerful. I'm aware of this. But you shouldn't have tried balancing it out by simply handicapping the next 2 masteries. Like the discard effect for Saiyan? Why?
What about the new Black Mastery? What does that one do?
It lowers your threshold for critical damage to 4 life cards. And now you can discard a card from your hand to gain 6 power stages?
Or power stages,
or
raise and lower an anger, but I think it has to be a black star card, which is hard to get that.
Why would they kill Saiyans, but they banned the first one, which we'll talk about in a minute, right?
Yeah.
They also banned the first Red Mastery as well.
Well, that's because the first Red Mastery is a piece of shit, especially for certain things. Like, I mean, like with certain MPs, it would be.
Yeah, but
shoulder grab with chilled, and you can jump 2 levels in one combat.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is like a double strike out there, and you can jump like 2.5 levels in one combat. Crit.
Yeah, there's a reason why.
Double crits on everything. And you're done. You barely even need to do anything. So, yeah.
So we need more of this.
So long story short is here, we were left in a sorry state following the end of the actual game, and we needed help. We needed something to help balance the game out, address things that were actually happening in 7. 8 and forward, guys, that's its own animal. It's got its own set of problems. It's not the same thing. So the big deal
Them trying to break the game, I swear.
Every time, every card has to be like awesomely powerful.
I mean, like
they don't care about power
why
creep.
they had to. I feel like the whole reason why they had to make it to where all drills have memory for them is because of bicycle.
Yeah.
Like after
What?
actually playing,
We're
with it and
suffering
whatnot,
because of that.
I feel like that's why.
Unbelievable.
Because you saw that in one combat. I went bicycle kick after possessioning drill, bicycle kick into another possessioning drill, bicycle kick, and then on top of that getting checkup drill too, like 3 times. But we already knew there was once per combat thing, so I mean, like it's still.
Yeah, but that's just in my opinion. It looks like to me that it's
That guy. That was that noise right there. Doesn't know how to stand up first.
That bicycle kick is like one part of the problem.
Yeah, it's funny how you can create a card that creates a problem. Like how they made Unleashed, and Unleashed created a new problem. You'd think, oh, it's a neat card to have, but no, it created a new problem. It's like the decks that horribly abused it. The Drakus who could use it 3 times in one combat of timing the discard pile line. It's like, how did you not know? I cannot believe you didn't know. In my opinion, you knew
Well,
it.
I feel like they didn't play test as much as we.
That does beg the question.
And there'll always be someone that can break a system if you give them enough time.
Sure, gosh, yes. You guys remember near the end of well after Score Z was over, some people had 40-card decks that they could just basically scout the entire top of their deck, set up for Dragon Ball Victory, and almost nearly one-turn somebody.
Yeah.
There's such a thing. It's Roshi and Bardock who can do that. Bull. But what we're getting at here is we came to it really, like we said, we were looking horrified. A lot of us are pulling our hair out. None of us were happy about previous CRDs from FanZ. Again, it's not because it's bad, but
Because there's other ways to address the problem.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
just
don't
that.
feel like they address them as well as they could.
No, every time we look at it, it's like Panini. Why didn't you address Goku? Goku's the one breaking these cards. He's the one, abusing Unleash, abusing Blue Terror. What?
Well,
It wasn't just
it's like
one
they just
Goku
was like,
abusing it,
oh
though.
yeah, it's 2 now, and it's banished after use. Goku doesn't.
Yeah, he could just pull it right the heck back out. Just,
But he doesn't care because at that point he's already out there. But it still doesn't matter because he just needs it once.
Well, when I heard that Angelo, remember how he got one-turned by Corey? Remember that?
Yeah.
He drew a early.
That's when you know the game's bad. Is until like Corey can win turn.
Yeah. How he had like 20-some actions during that combat. Did you hear that story? He unleashed to 4 and just basically kept drawing and discarding and drawing and
I
discarding.
don't know, that last game I had quite a bit of options. And I had quite a bit of like you stopped, you passed a while back and I just kept on going.
Telling me, man. Ugh. So this is what happened. So basically, they did make it very easy to overdo, and basically some styles became overpowered. Between all of us guys, do you think the guys at Panini or the development team, who loved orange this much? Who did this? Who went to the meeting and said, I like, hey, it's you, James. It's you.
James.
So that's what we're saying. It's like, hey, there ain't been another Piccolo name card in like 20 sets. And we're still, and somebody's like, orange needs more, give it more. So the solution, guys, like we said, was this. The CRD gave us a simple and elegant solution. No banning of cards, no singling out of personalities, no nerfing people. Not necessary.
To be fair, with what they had too, it was the only thing that they really needed to do.
Yep. Nothing else was needed, didn't it?
Well, and I feel like this goes back to their CRD for Fan Z, and they didn't really do enough. Because a lot of these problems are once again caused by some of their cards. You know, we talked about bicycle kick. Bicycle kick causes a lot of problems in the fact that it should be a head effect or some other sort of like constriction for it.
Yeah, it has to be if you played another attack from your hand or something.
If you played like 2 or 3.
Yeah, you can. That would make a lot of sense. That it's late into combat is not going to be the most devastating.
Well, I mean, like it is kind of because it can reset the whole combat if you did it right. But at the same time, if it's like a hit effect, and they just made the lower your opponent's anger 2 a thing, that would work. That would work fine.
But we just can't imagine from a balancing standpoint, why is that an initial effect? A no downside, not even banished after.
It's not even. It's so broken because I can basically have Disaster Drill, get the 1 anger from it, send it back to the deck, get on another Disaster Drill, and boop, it's on there again.
Yeah, just think about the combo we just described, guys. That's very attainable in an Adept Orange. There's nothing fancy about what we just said. It would just look.
I mean, that's how Gohan. That's how my Gohan works. Is it just goes in, grabs Disaster Drill, and then you just go.
So the simple, elegant solution.
Zach, I had him just by the end of it. He was just like.
Wait, Zach?
Zach, what's Zach?
Which guy?
No, Troy. There we
Troy.
go.
Oh, poor Troy.
Troy. Because okay, so because we. I'm trying to copy my Growindex. But I had him going, you son of a bitch, at the end when I brought out level 4 first action, just made it to level 4, bring out Disaster Drill. I was like, yeah.
Oh man. So Orange became deviously, fiendishly effective, frustratingly effective. Well, anyway, the solution was actually in there. You guys know how none of us here are actually a giant fan of the drills have memory thing. We think it's a symptom of a different problem.
Well, yeah, and it screws over so many other decks that could have potential at this point. Like, we finally got to the point where people like Nail could actually use Leaping Kick. Because of that new drill that came out that's just like, oh, by the way, when this comes out during combat, you can rejuvenate a ball. So if you do that, level up, so you can bring it out, or have it out. You can use the ability, and then potentially level up, lose it, because you gain an anger, because you can still MPEV out, or something like that, and let's say they milled, or just banished a Dragon Ball off the top of your deck, then you could potentially go back into it, that combat, and get it back, or get another one back. But now, you can't, because it has memory. It said, hey, I've already been out.
So that's frustrating. To kneecap players who are just starting to get anything in the way of a flow or a consistent means to do anything, no, you get nothing. They Willy Wonka them. Remember that?
Yeah.
You get nothing. Dang it.
What do you get?
Nothing.
Absolutely.
No zippity doo-dahs, no nipplers.
I haven't thought about that in a while. That part anyway. Good day, sir. So yeah.
Except that new one. That new one's good. Gene Wilder is so much better than Johnny Depp.
Oh gosh, I don't know what.
I don't like Johnny Depp. I really don't. But that's a different day.
If he ain't playing a pasty weirdo,
he's not doing it right.
He's not playing him. That's the problem. He plays himself.
His original role is, they think, one of his best, and he dies in a waterbed.
I know what you're talking about, and that's great nonsense. Dang it, if you guys think about it for a second, we think of Johnny Depp as a current actor, don't we? You know what I mean? Like a currently active actor? Well, what I mean is he is a currently active actor, where you think like, holy moly, in the early 80s he was getting killed in a waterbed. Wow.
What about the
It's
guy
okay.
now.
with
It's
sharp
okay.
fingers?
Think about this. Think about this. Brendan Fraser was a caveman at that time. Then he became a mummy hunter. And then he disappeared. I don't know. Then he became George of the Jungle. And then he just swung his way out of the movies.
Wait, wasn't he a Mountie
Then
for
he
a
got
little while?
divorced,
Yeah.
and then all his money was gone. And then the Tom
And
Cruise
then
one
he
came
was
out,
in-
and now they're begging for Brendan Fraser back because that was garbage.
Yeah.
Well, you know what gets me is Brendan Fraser should have attached himself to a superhero franchise a long time ago, playing some kind of supporting role, and then he could work forever. That'd be fine. I like that.
Well, you know why his career ended, right?
No.
He got divorced from his wife, so all that money goes to child support.
What?
Oh, she really screwed him over. Yeah.
What? I hadn't heard.
Still.
Wow, that's awful. So you mean he's getting the pineapple up his pooper all the time, every month?
Pretty much.
Wow, I didn't know that. Poor Brendan
But
Fraser.
jumping back to Johnny Depp, though,
You want to jump
he's
on
like
Johnny Depp?
No, I don't want to do that.
That's what you just said.
Wait, were you gonna though?
No.
Oh, go ahead with your comment.
We were talking about him as a current actor. Look how many freaking movies he's been in so far.
Yeah, think about how many of them are good.
Yeah.
The number very quickly dwindles.
Well,
I really liked Fair and Loathing, though. I like that movie because it was just so nonsensy that it was funny.
So the one movie I didn't like him in was Corpse Bride.
He was in that movie?
Mm-hmm. He was the dude.
And that's
Dude,
why
no,
we
that was definitely Jeff Bridges.
No, not that one.
the dude, darn it, he was the lead in Corpse Bride. This guy,
Yeah.
smack this guy.
He was the dude.
Well, I don't know how to
dudest.
describe him.
He was the dude with the thing and the bang and the...
So we can't call him the dude
And
anymore.
Steve Buscemi dies he dies in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah he
I'm
did.
pretty sure he had this thing going on with Jeff.
Back to the master.
Okay, we got
John
a
Goodman, that's his
rough tangent there. So, what do you guys would say? What would be the most elegant solution without having to nuke a bunch of players and just absolutely fry the game out? Why don't we just-
Bandai's new game and bring this one back.
So the most elegant solution, guys, we can't cheer it enough. All of us were like, it was like the end of Return of the Jedi. We're all Ewoks dancing and singing, looking at
And
the
then,
CRD.
and then Fantasy's just like, nah, that's not the ending to it. You want to give us a special edition thing. And we're like, screw you, fans.
You better have that song in there and you do this. Like when we said that.
Alright,
Now we're gonna cut to a small music video.
of very small guys in furry suits. Now, they might be Ewoks, they might not
It's like watching a bunch of midget strippers at the
I was
same
gonna say
time.
that they may be midgets in teddy bear outfits, but
be. Whoa!
Y'all know
that's what they were. Let's be honest.
they prefer little people or vertically challenged.
No, because every year it's they're want to be called something different though.
I
I
think
thought they're still little people. Is that not accurate anymore?
I don't know. They got a bunch of names
What
now.
about gingers? Are they going to start doing that too?
I
We
hope
prefer to
not.
be called pasty skins or daywalkers or carrot tops.
All of us like unfunny prop comedy. Oh, and we wrecked our faces with plastic surgery. And we also...
Just James. He was trying to extend his schnoz.
Nah, genetics have done a good job.
Oh, I
No,
thought-
but extend it even more. You
Oh, I
know?
thought you wanted a huge square chin.
Look like a
I've already got the cleft
Is
chin.
it like Crimson Chin though?
Where
We don't talk about the Uragan.
it's all chin.
We don't talk about the we don't
should
talk
start
about the
doing-
steel Uragan.
Yeah, that's right. My bad.
We don't talk about the Jay Leno monster.
Oh god.
So so the most
Kill
elegant
Conan's
solution.
Killed Conan's rear.
So we realized the key was, of course, Orange opens up horrendous abuse of multiple uses of a drill in one turn, which if anybody who fought Vegeta would be like, and you're going to level, and you're going to pull out a drill, and you're
And
gonna,
you know how most of us like pulling it out, you know? Random moments.
Yeah, and that's what was the problem. It was too random. There wasn't enough plan to this. So it turns out the big fix was just basically give Orange Retribution users drills memory, and no one else has to die.
And the awkward thing is, no alcohol was involved.
No, this happened au naturel. And that was the most, like we said, there was a reason we were Ewok dancing when we saw that. We said, let me get this straight. The way we fix this is we simply only affect one drill, and then that's it.
Well,
One
because
simple
everybody
drill.
else had to waste like 5 resources to do it.
Yeah. But
And
orange.
But then, like after this last one, I'm just like, wait a second. Bicycles. Holy crap! I can recycle them so many times without even trying.
And it is unpleasant, folks. You're
But
probably
but at the same time, you gotta realize this CRD only concerns Panini stuff.
right. 7 and
So
older.
and it works perfectly for just Panini stuff.
Yeah, it's fine. But we noticed that. Remember how we said stinking 8 and 9 were made without this being a rule,
Yep.
and it's noticeable that they did not plan this. So it's like great. So we deal with two different perspectives.
Well, I
on
think
this.
the problem is once again, we're seeing the problem that Orange has always seen. There is no physical. Well, there's not enough physical support to make people want to try physical bags. They have a lot, and it's really good, especially since
I like
7
it.
came out. But like the new mastery just was like, hey guys, no. You want to play this,
There we go.
and it's still like that.
So we like we said, we just can't say it enough. It was an excellent solution, and like we said, should there never have been a fanzine, it would have been an interesting place to leave the game. It would have been nice. We'd have been very pleasantly surprised to know it did get balanced at the end. But yeah, I was gonna say, but no Goku balancing. We don't. So we're gonna move on to another topic. We have the legacy thawing bonus.
The legendary thong bonus? What'd you say?
Legacy-
Thawing. I thought you said thong. And I'm like, what does that have to do with Dragon Ball Z?
Everything. It was very important all along. So the legacy thawing bonus. I'm thinking of Garlic Jr.'s henchman who wore ones.
What, pepperoni?
Get that out of here. Get out.
That's who he's modeled after, you know?
Oh yeah, but oh my gosh, I cannot believe how gay. I mean, most of the henchmen are gay. Flaming
Well,
gay.
they all do wear thongs, don't they? They have Speedos or banana hammocks and
and
stuff.
7 out of 10. You bitch.
Okay, then that would mean that.
I was just gonna say, Burger's gay.
Same thing, then.
Oh, that is interesting.
I thought it had to be obvious because all of Frieza's henchmen are named after fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
That's just them going. They're going on a long running gag because that's what Saiyans are too.
Well, you could call
you know.
pepperoni a nice spicy sausage.
You could, but we're not gonna because that's all. I think his name's, is it Spice or is it, which one is the one that wears the really tall guy wearing a hat and a big cape of black hair of Garlic Jr.'s name? He's not Spice, he's somebody else. Vinegar. The big guy's named Vinegar. So anyway, Vinegar has, or is it Spice? One of them has a big hole on his Speedo, his onesie, and
Just letting it hang all out. Like all natural. We've said
it's
this
around
earlier.
his belly button, but everybody says, shouldn't it be?
Lord.
Yeah, that's a joke certified fresh from
And you
2003.
thought my picture was bad. That is totally yours.
So, now that we're done talking about the legacy bonus, the legacy thawing bonus. Okay, guys, we were talking about this. If you think about it, Panini would have to address a problem. For the first time ever, they would have to address that certain masteries were still frozen. Even like if you think about it, at the end of an actual game, some mastery's frozen for good. You can't do that. You can't leave a game where just like parts of it are just dead. Can't do it. So what was the solution though? Do you make masteries unfrozen for everybody? Do you leave them frozen forever?
No, because Trunks would use Red Ring.
You would have 5-minute matches,
Yep.
flat out. Just so the big
Also,
solution.
Mercenary Task sucks as much as Dr. Revo.
I think this was also going to really affect how
So I'm just thinking that's our
fantasy
recipe.
stuff came out because this wasn't before they made the new set, and I looked at some of the new red cards and
They're nasty.
yeah.
So we said that what's the most elegant solution? Panini said, hey, guess what? There's a whole bunch of characters who aren't broken with this. So some characters will be allowed. As you can see here, we have, of course, Krillin, Frieza, Piccolo, Ginyu, Vegeta, Villain Alignment Only, all you weirdos. Nail, Nappa, Raditz, Tenshin, Han, Turles, Lord Slug. Did you guys probably catch a theme in what I just said?
They're all shitty characters.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They're all tier 2 and below. So,
Well, Dr. Revo is like, and Mercenary Tower, just so shitty.
are they third tier-ish or so?
But Ginyu Nappa.
Well, yeah. Well, Nappa eventually became a wrecking machine, just destroyed everybody.
But that's because of Van Z, not because of Panini.
Well, no. Awakening really did some work on him. Remember that attachable card? What is it? Clinch or Bear Hug? Clinch. Yeah.
But not even that. Like, it's some of the other masteries. He does more stuff now. Like, you could have run him in a red.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that. I really would.
Especially with the new stuff that came out. I could see him on the new level 2 in Red Range.
So, do we want to give these people names?
No.
Do we want to make them third tier for life? Third tier for life. And
They look like a gun.
don't worry about it.
That's not good for school.
If the audience doesn't know, then they don't need to know.
You did it right in front of the camera.
I did. I'm not even worried about it.
You could just ask for a link and then he'll send it to you.
Can we blur my hand during that one? My hand's all censored.
I don't know. I think that would be worse. It's like Tom Petty when he's like, I just wanted to say something that was different, and I just said, let's go smoke another joint. And then when I heard the music video, they said, let's roll another nuige. It just sounds worse than a joint.
I guess you could say that's related.
Because I don't know if you've ever smoked nuige, but it sounds kind of amazing.
What?
Those were his words.
Nothing's better than an R-rated movie on at 11 in the morning on basic cable, because you will laugh pretty hard at the censoring. Funniest movie?
How can you? Or, hey, don't kill my... Or don't
Kill
hug
me,
my
bro.
wife. Wait, I didn't hug my wife. Wait, what?
Well, my favorite is Die Hard 2. If you have a chance to watch the TV edit for 11 before
I think I remember
11
watching the TV edit for RoboCop.
Oh my! My favorite thing about it is where he goes, "Son of a beast!" and they're like, "Hey, his lips didn't match, like at all." What did he? Oh!
And it's like a whole different voice. It's like son of a beast, or son of a bitch is the regular one, and then son of a beast is like completely irrelevant. It's like son of a biatch.
There is a scene in which he's talking with Dennis Franz. So he's talking to Dennis Franz in the airport, and they're going back and forth. There's a part where, not even kidding, about 30 seconds of dialogue disappears from the movie because there's so much profanity thrown lightly back and forth. We just cut the whole section out.
Hey, it was cut the essence of time and to fit in the block that they were given.
I love that scene. I wish I had it on loop, where I could just leave it playing for a long time.
The best movie ever. How much of it is censored? All of it. But don't they have to fill an hour block on? Well, we get 15 minutes. We have no idea what's going on. It starts off with them shooting each other, and then it literally ends with the credits.
Just pop
There was
it
a
up.
blind kid.
Somebody set gasoline on fire, and then I think Bruce Willis almost got hit by a plane.
And then
Back to the great Ice Age thought of this conversation.
So the big idea here is that this was the most efficient way to deal with the problem at hand.
it's a have legacy thong bonus.
Yeah.
Because you want to see Napa and fun.
No, it's my job to be comedy relief
Well, we
and
appreciate
to
that.
destroy the circle of life here.
You know,
We would like to believe that
I
this is,
just had a horrible thought.
Yeah.
He's talking about the thong mastery, and then
See, that's gonna be
and,
a mastery.
and then I saw Lord Slug, and I'm just like, well, how does that
Unpopular.
work? How does that work? Because remember, they don't have penises.
It's because they're Yoshis.
I don't know. I don't want to think about any of that. I think I'm just gonna mentally censor them. They got black bars, is what they got. Just right
And we'll
there.
show you, we'll show
the
you
black
the
bars
image, but
to
there would
the,
be a black bar
bars
over the image.
representation of the TVZ world.
Well, you know, Arlians, they're gonna be a big thing in the next set with their thong mastery.
They can only attain
The
this because of
Namekian thong
master.
mastery.
Arlian thong, you know what the Arlians are, right? Cause I'm gonna rape you, cause you're my bitch.
Didn't you hear? Vegeta was a prince.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we were.
I'm hugging him, Vegeta.
Oh, he broke, Vegeta.
Now drop the soap.
What we were getting at, folks, is you probably noticed the second tier nature of this. I feel a little uncomfortable knowing flat out that the developers say, hey, Piccolo, hey, Android 17, 16,
I think,
you know.
I think the funniest thing is, though, look at the one thing that they left in. The one thing that dominated the meta for years. For a
Krillin
year
and
a half.
Piccolo?
Black Krillin.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. If we can actually see Black Krillins reappearing,
But they're going to go with the new master.
No race was involved in it.
They want to go to the new, but they want to go to the new one because let's be honest, that means the destructiveness is guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, and critical damage, not just a crit and actual critical damage. I like that. It's neat.
Let's think of that.
So there's something to be said there. Believe it or not, because of the nature of this particular CRD update and because of who they chose, none of us here were ourselves red and raged about the choices that were made. None of us here contested it. All of us said, this is fine. There's nobody here who shouldn't be here. Yeah, I mean, most.
Technically, they decided that none of the fancy stuff could be used in the thawing out. But that was the fancy that decided that.
So, that's right. So, I guess the big wrap up about the whole point of this was how do they address their lingering issues? How do they make the mastery still usable? How do they make sure not one whole chunk of the game gets lost? They just did that. It is our supposition, though we have no proof, that the reason this took so long to get a CRD out, the final one, is because they actually did testing with these particular MPs, and all MPs perhaps, to figure out who could be in this list and who couldn't.
Well, I think they tried to figure out an honest-to-goodness answer that wouldn't piss a lot of people off about what to do about the current meta with Orange and stuff like that. And I don't think they want to see just one mastery type being played. I really don't feel like they ever really wanted that to happen because I talked to a lot of judges and whatnot when we were doing regionals and whatnot. They all had their favorite, but they all were glad to see different things come in.
Oh, exactly. There was nothing more disappointing than looking at those tournament stats from ages ago, and the tournament stats had 0 representations of some masteries. Remember those days? When you look at it and go, there's...
Hey, I was the 1 and 2 that ran at it.
What? Who ran the other one?
That is the object.
Because remember, I actually said that was going to be a thing because it was actually very consistently able to grab all the drills that he would need to give him anger and to help him level up faster.
Wow.
And that extra stage damage is kind of nice pressure if you can keep them, because you keep them at 1 level, so you're just throwing a billion energy attacks for free that do stages.
I never really thought about that. Huh.
I actually
really
found that
should've
out.
been more of a
I found that out first thing when Brawley actually became a thing, and I was trying to run it active, and it just I'd get rumble solved, and then I just did one thing and one thing only. I switched up the mastery, and it actually gave me a better edge on it. Because what people don't understand is that ability to go in when you make a successful attack and search out for whatever continuous drill you need at that time.
I like
Game
this.
changing. Like,
Did Broly block much in any of his versions?
No.
Not really too much. I mean, the orange did,
Wow.
but that was me. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty sweet. You just have to get 1 key hit on him in combat.
Well, yeah, and think about it this way. With Yamcha at that point, all you need is 1 key hit, and then you went for
Disaster drill?
no, because you ran energies. You just did nothing but run energies. So you went for captivity drill, and then on your next combat, you went for investigation drill or whatever it was. The one that let you, after you did a hit effect, you got to raise or lower a player's anger.
Whoa.
So then you would get 2 anger off of an attack if it hit. Because of captivity drill.
You know what feels awful? What you just said describes me how, for the most part, none of us could stand and fight Broly if we had to. Most of us ran for MPVP. I did. I couldn't fight him.
I could.
I couldn't. Shoot
Because
him.
you forget, I ran Orange Adept, that all I did was just gain all the stage damage that I could, and then just sit on level 1 with that 18-4 drill, and then you're just like, you just smacked me down to 0. I just smacked you down to 0. I still have AT.
And you know what you got? Knuckle sandwich.
That's basically what I did. I took out a level 3 Brawly at level 1. Just like, it was out damaging him and everything, it was Saiyan, and I was just...
So yeah, so we're all very pleased. We are going to close out this segment by just playing a little bit of Ewok music, unless you guys want to do it the old-fashioned way.
No, I love that.
Oh,
Well, we
Return of the Jedi is my favorite movie. I'm really partial to that.
so the only
Some of us are Star Trek fans, by the way. But we still get along.
well, sometimes.
Some of us actually know that. Unfortunately. Like, I could probably sing a good chunk of this.
So
Nerd!
and then we're Homer spotted him, pulled over, had to yell at him. That's still one of my favorite things. He's like, "Hey, wait a minute, Marge, we gotta stop." Nerd! Why? All right, so that's gonna be, like I said, we'll wrap it up. When we come back, we are gonna talk more specifically about stuff we probably should have talked about a set 8, and we'll talk about set 9 and how we feel about where the strengths and weaknesses are.